Okay, so we're on. So in this demo, I thought I would talk about the um, L10 sharp, or sometimes people call it lion sharp. I guess Randy uh, Regnier affectionately calls it lion sharp because L10N looks a little bit like lion when you
Yes.
write it. So I've loaded this project from the Bit bucket. And this project, as you can see, comes with the solution file, but also comes with the sample application. So if I go to the repo where I keep it, in the output folder, there's this is the sample application. I can also launch it from the Visual Studio. When I run the sample application, I've already done one translation for French, as you can see. Um, They have a drop-down control. They have a,
Link
a
button.
link button, some text, a label, other things. So if I click on, I think, any one of these, it tells me if you click an item while you hold down the Shift key, this tool will open with that item already selected. So anyway, here's the tool that comes with the program. What you see is that it takes this user interface and it creates a tree of it. And so all of the different elements from the user interface are listed here. It creates this tree with reflection. And so it does this looking at the reflection from the application. And if we click on the sample app line, what we see here is that here now it's listed all the different things that have text to be translated. And here it has a column for English, a column for French. Now I can change which language I want to choose for the localized version. So if I choose German, for example, um, right now there's no German translations, and I say OK. So here, the only problem I've seen with the sample application is it won't let me go back to English once I create the translation. Let me see. If I, for example, if I hold I think the Alt key down and click on that uh, header element, you'll notice that as they said, the translator opens with that particular header highlighted. So the basic process is right here, this button, this first button, it says translate using Bing. So if I wanted to translate it into German or Hausa or some other language, what I do is I pick the language. Let's see, what do they have down here? I don't see that they have Tamil as one choice.
Tamil is there.
Is there?
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, right
Yes,
here.
sir.
Is this it?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, Tamil is
Okay.
there.
So there's Tamil. If I click that one and I press the Bing button, oh,
Yes.
I think you have to first select everything and you press the Bing button, it will go and
Yes.
translate the entire application like
Okay.
that. And then you click OK. And then now I think what I did last time was I exited from here and I launched it again. And this time when I launch it, now I have Tamil as a choice. Of course, it won't take it. Well, anyway, this is how it's supposed to work. It's how it worked for French.
Okay, okay.
Is that I chose Tamil. I don't know. Maybe I have to look at the code of what the sample application is doing or why it's not doing it the way it's supposed to. If I choose the form, I actually open the form and select this one. Okay. So I think the problem is that after the user has made a selection, or when the user tries to change it, then the system localizes it to the current language, selected language. And
Yes.
I don't think we want to do that when the user has selected to change. So for now anyway, I'm just going to comment out this section and see what happens if I run it. Um, oh, sorry. I think actually I have to tell it that this is the one that I want to run.
Yes.
Manage set. Set as startup project. There we go. Okay, now it comes up in English and I can choose Tamil,
Yes.
but it doesn't change anything.
You
Oh,
commented it,
because
right?
I told it. Okay. So something here I better keep, right? So I have to change I have to keep this set set the default user interface language. I have to keep that. And then
So third
Set
line
UI
also, I think.
language.
the second line says set the UI language. We better keep this last one, right?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
To update the, see if that, we'll try that one. That's 2 out of 3 maybe, huh? No, it's not making the change. I think the second line is important somehow, but let me try this one the other way. Oh, now it's defaulting. See, now it won't stay because it says
It's
when
not
it
selecting.
updates. So there's a difference. Anyway, that one is not working.
Greg, you can comment first line, Greg.
Okay,
You can try because it's there.
like that. Because no,
Yes.
there's some problem with the logic, but it has actually created a translation of the user interface for, I mean, this function creates a translation of the user interface for the different languages. So all you have to do is click on the app name and then pick your language um, from any of the ones that Bing knows about, and then select all the controls and click the Bing button, and it will go and translate everything. So I thought this would be interesting for us um, to be able to generate uh, and I think the
Yeah.
one we have does something like that, although I'm not exactly sure how it works. Because when I looked into the uh, library, we could look at that's the reason for having this project is we can look and see how that one is working. But when I looked at the one for our project, um, what I found was that there is, inside the library, there are translators for even more. I think in this case, it works with Bing and with Google Translator. And what I don't know is if Bing and or Google Translator have changed their API. I know that the Lion Sharp project has updated the APIs to work with the latest Bing and the latest Google Translator. And what I don't know is if the one we have, which is a bit older, has the right API for the for the translators. So in our case, I think I picked it. I opened one of these things that had the localization in it, or just did it with the object browser. Um, okay, yeah, so here they've got localization Bing Translator Service. Localization, so this is the code reader. This is the part that goes through using reflection and extracts all the code, and this is the part that builds that English PAEN.tmx file. That's the code reader. And then this localization TMX utils is just for creating the TMX files. But the translators here we have Bing, Google. So those are the two. So this is also in the one we have. It can go, given the right command, it can give a translation for all of the different controls into a new language, which would then need to be reviewed. So I guess the guy who wrote Phonology Assistant also wrote this localization program, which has since been updated. Some bugs have been fixed and various things have been done to it. So, but this was the original version. It was called Localization Manager when it was written. Are there any questions? This is just a little bit of an introduction to it, but it gives you a kind of orientation to where you can find the source file and how it's supposed to work.
No, Greg.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast.